Hello, my friends, and welcome back. As always, I hope you're all healthy and well, and let's get right into it. Today, we are back on the Harry and Meghan train, or perhaps I should say yacht, as it seems to be more appropriate. Anyway, today's video will be an off the cuff chat about a bunch of things which popped into my head over the last few days. So, here goes. Many people, of course, said that Meghan copied her 40 by 40 idea from the South African Nelson Mandela Day, on which people are asked to donate 67 minutes of their time to be kind to others or make the world a better place. Well, it may very well be true that that is where she got the idea, but if that is true, then she is the dumbest person in the universe because her idea of giving back or making things better is very far removed from the Mandela Day 67-minute initiative. Megan is talking about mentoring. In other words, all it is talking. And as they say, talk is cheap. Mandela Day is not about talking, it is about doing. And it's not just about women and girls, it is about everyone. School children are taken out to go and pick up trash. Businesses will take their employees to hand out soup in poor areas or will donate blankets to shelter. Groups will fix a road in a township or paint a school, and soccer teams will go and start a community garden. These things that I've just mentioned are all things which had been done on Mandela Day in the past and even this year. And yes, it is about doing and not about talking. And that is where Markle misses the plot. No amount of talking without doing will ever change the world. So let's move on a bit to Harry the Joker. I've never seen anyone so blind as not to see what is happening as Harry himself. Although I cannot predict that Harry and Meghan will ever divorce, they may not, as I think they are feeding off each other in a way, or at the very least have some kind of codependency. Or perhaps Harry is of the mindset that he is dependent on Meghan as his savior, his mentor, his family. And if that is the case, then he is right in a way, because Meghan has effectively alienated him from his friends, most of his patronages, a large part of his family, and basically everything that was familiar to him. But having said that, a divorce is not completely off the table either, because it takes two to tango, and Harry, being dependent on Meghan, does not a marriage make. And as they say, past behavior is a good indication of future behavior. And if we look into Meghan's past and Harry's, we'll see that the both of them had only one long-term relationship. Meghan's relationship with Trevor, obviously, and even though their marriage did not last long, they dated and lived together for approximately 6 years before getting married. Harry's relationship with Chelsea Davy also lasted for basically the same amount of time, even though it was a on again, off again type of thing. All other relationships either of them had struggled to make it to the 2 year mark, even though both of them had multiple relationships over the years. I've always predicted that should they get divorced, it will be between the 3 and 5 year mark. But I did a bit of research and now I think I was off by 2 years. And I think COVID played a big role in this. Remember, while dating, they traveled back and forth between Canada and Britain, seeing each other for a few days every couple of weeks. And this continued until Meghan filmed her last appearance on Suits in August 2017. It is assumed that she moved to Harry's cottage in London sometime after that, but remember, that was only where the adventure started. They traveled to Africa. Meghan had a Vanity Fair interview about their romance in October. They got engaged in November and was married in May 2018. Thus, even the 10 months spent together was filled with moving, traveling, interviews, engagements, adjustments, and planning a wedding. And then they got married in May, and by July, there was a baby on the way, regardless of how the baby came about. Um, but they also had a hectic program of travel and engagements. And it is my opinion that Harry only got to know the real Meghan when they moved to LA and the COVID lockdown struck. And by then, it was too late. They already had a child in the mix. He was already away from family and friends, and he had to adapt or die, as they say. And how did he adapt? Having been in a family whose actions are curtailed by protocol and rules, spending a few years in the army, etc., the easiest way Harry could adapt and feel safe was to follow his wife's lead. Harry became even more of a yes man than he ever was in the royal family. I mean, lie to Oprah, Harry. Yes, Meghan. Go hand out food, Harry. Yes, Meghan. Go talk about your mother on a stage in front of a bunch of business people. Yes, Meghan. See what I mean? And where will this all lead eventually? I think if it was up to Harry and no one else, this could possibly continue forever, but it is not. Meghan will always be the main player, the star in the Harry and Meghan show. And Meghan may very well decide to move on one day. Harry is not a politician. Harry is not a movie director. Harry is not even close to being the richest man in the world. Nor is he the most handsome, the most famous, or the most intelligent. So what happens when Meghan comes across one of those men? Regardless of how rich or famous that guy will be, Meghan will not just walk away. It is not in her nature to do so. She'll want everything she can get or keep, including the house, the fame, the children, etc. Can you guys imagine that drama and that fight? Well, here is the thing. There will not be much of a fight, will there? You see, Meghan will be able to prove in a court of law that Harry has addictions and mental health issues. And why? Because Harry himself said so on a television show seen by millions of people around the world. He even proved it by having himself taped during a therapy session. We heard him lie about his own family. We saw him acting like a 6-year-old, clowning around and making a fool of himself. So, not even the best lawyer will be able to dispute that poor old Harry is not quite all there. And that, my dear friends, is exactly where Meghan had led Harry, and that is where he finds himself right now, completely at the mercy of a very shrewd woman. But before you all jump down my throat, I do not blame Meghan for all of it. Harry himself is responsible too. He did not listen to his brother's advice, did not listen to his friends and grandfather. No, no, no. Harry thought he knew it all, but in the end he knew, in the words of a famous movie director, bugger nothing. Well, I see Meghan had a major meltdown when she discovered that her 40th birthday coincided with Obama's 60th, and that she very quickly cancelled the soiree she had been planning for months. And then, to add insult to injury, she discovered that they were not invited to the Obama birthday bash. Apparently, that was when she came up with this 40 by 40 idea and arranged to have the video made. Well, even that fell flat when her little poem for the silly initiative was only shared 200 times. Now, remember them singing This Little Light of Mine on the podcast? Well, I think that little light is dimming fast, and the big drama we had all been waiting for will become apparent towards the end of the year. Okay, folks, so that is all I have to say about Harry and Meghan. I've got some interesting things about the rest of the royal family and extended family lined up for you for the next video. And at some point, I would also like to talk to you a bit about the Yorks, Andrew, Sarah, and their children, and all in all, what I think is happening within the royal family at the moment. So, my dears, until I see you on the next one, please take good care of yourselves. And for now, from me, it is bye.